Welcome to my channel. I am Debbie. If you are new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. You know I really appreciate you guys, and I am just so excited how supportive that everyone has been. I am very close to my 1 year YouTube anniversary, and I'll be celebrating that in a couple of weeks. But I was just looking today at all the different comments and how many comments I've had since the beginning of my channel, and it's now over 1,000 comments. And that is not my responses to you guys, that is just you responding. And so I am very grateful for that. Today's video is going to be a WiP Chat. And if you are not familiar with what a WiP Chat is, that is a work in progress. I am going to be working on this one, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but this is upside down because I'm now at the beginning or the top of this particular canvas. I only have this portion here to go and I will be done. And I was hoping I would be finished with this before this WiP Chat, but I did not do as much as I had planned on over the weekend on this particular canvas, so I have just this little bit to do, and more than likely I'll finish this by today, or that's the plan anyway. Maybe not during this WiP Chat, but it will get completed by the end of the day today. This is a 60 by 80 centimeter. It's called Autumn Sun, and it's by Dreamer Design. It is one of my first Dreamer design that I've actually done. I have several that is in my stash, but I have not done one. So I'm really excited about this one and really looking forward to doing my post review on it, which will probably be either next week or the week after. So let's go ahead and get started. I am using my cat-proof tray. I love these trays. If you have not seen an unboxing on this, I did the unboxing this past weekend. I can put that in the eye so you can take a look at that. I'm also going to be using Marshmallow Chit, and that is from Enabler's Outpost. It smells really good and wintry. And then I'm using this pen from Mad Wood Turning Pen, and this one's a hybrid. I love this pen. It was a custom. I use this one quite often. And then I'm using these trays for my containers, and that came from Amazon. So let me pick out a color. And I'm sorry for the glare. I do have my light pad on, and then I have a couple of other lights that I have on this canvas. It's a very dreary day today, and I thought my light pad would also help, especially the way that I am having to position where I am, so I am not in the way of the canvas. I don't want you to see my head. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. It's right on the edge of my light pad. So first of all, how is everyone today? I hope that you are all doing well and that you are staying warm. If it is cold in your neck of the woods, it is freezing here in Georgia. It's just a dreary, yucky day. It's very windy, and it's just not very much fun. So I thought, well, I'm going to take time off from work on my lunch break, and I want to film my WiP Chat. And if you would like, pull out something that you have been working on, whether it is diamond painting, any other kind of crafts, whether you're cleaning your house or you are driving, and if you just want to listen, then that is great also. Typically, I will have my WiP Chats from 45 minutes to an hour. I'm not sure how long today that it's going to be. I don't really have anything specific that I need to talk about or anything that's really happened that's going to take a long time, but wanted to spend some time with you guys. I enjoy my WiP Chats. It's actually one of my favorite videos to record, and I also love to read the comments afterwards on my WiP Chat to see what all you guys were doing, if anything. I am actually going to be single placing today. I do love to multi-place. I have my 8 placer on this pin, but I thought I'm just going to multi-place today because there is a glare and it's going to be a little difficult the way that I am positioned to be able to see really straight on this. But on most of this, when I'm not filming, I have been multi-placing, and it's made this go by really fast, which has been really nice. Let's see. So let me know how you guys are doing. I know that for me, I am really getting the spring fever itch, even though we have a ways to go. I'm just over winter. It has just been so cold and yucky. I hate being cold. I hate wearing layers, and I've been wearing multiple layers every day. I even go to bed in layers. My husband just thinks I'm crazy. He goes to bed and he has just gym shorts on, and he is just happy, and he still gets hot. And I am just always so cold, wearing a hoodie to bed half the time with a shirt underneath and either sweats or thick pajama bottoms. So it's just been yucky for me. I don't like it. But it is nice that we do have fires on the weekends, so that's one thing that I can look forward to. About the only thing in winter. Let's see, what all has been going on around here? Not a whole lot, really. I was thinking about it earlier today. I had to go and get my hair cut, and so driving to the salon, I started thinking about my WiP Chat, and what has actually happened this week that would even be of interest to you guys. And I came up with nothing. I mean, zilch, nothing that really has been very interesting or that we've even really done. I don't even know, thinking back, where this week has gone. It's like 1 minute it was last Monday, and now it's a week later. It's almost a month later. It seems like it was just Christmas. So time's just been going by really fast, but we really hadn't been doing that much. And I just bumped you. Sorry. I do not like how I have this. I need to figure this out, the best way to do this when I get to the ends. The middle of canvases aren't as difficult, but when you get to the ends, it's kind of hard to figure out where to position my camera and the best way to do this so I can see my canvas, and then also you can either see, or a lot of times I know that people don't watch, they just like to listen, and so that's good also. But just in case, and there is a glare from this light pad. I love my light pad, and this one is really large, but I'm going to have to contact Amazon because it is a fairly new light pad. I've had it maybe 3-4 months, and I'm already having problems with it. So I need to contact Amazon and see what I can do about that, and see if that's normal or what the problem is. So I need to get that done. That's on my to-do list. But I really do like this light pad, but I have a feeling that it's not going to last very long. And it got really good ratings too, so I'm not sure what the problem with this particular one is. Normally, I will film my WiP Chats early on a Monday morning. On Mondays, I do tend to work from home, and I like to go ahead and work on my WiP Chats whenever my daughter, as soon as she gets on the bus, I like to go ahead and get my WiP Chats done because I don't know what all I'm going to be doing for work, especially on Monday mornings. But today I had an early hair appointment, and I went and did that, and then now it is in the afternoon when I was able to finally get back into my craft room and to be able to just sit down, have a little bit of time to myself in between having to do some things for work, and also get to some time to diamond paint. So I do have a drink here. I may have to stop in just a few minutes and have a sip. Usually it's coffee, but since it's in the afternoon, I stopped when I was out from getting my hair done and I picked up some lunch, which I never do. Picked up some lunch and I got a tea, which I get half and half tea, so that's half sweet, half unsweet. And in the South, we mainly drink sweet tea, but and it's cold, but I don't like my tea really sweet, so I get half sweet, half unsweet, and to me, that is like the perfect combination. And sometimes that's even too sweet, but for the most part, that's how I like to do it. And it also gives me enough caffeine to keep me going during the day. And I definitely need caffeine this morning. I was kind of sluggish yesterday, Sunday for me. I didn't do much of anything yesterday. I don't know where my day even went. I did a little bit of diamond painting yesterday, and I didn't do anything on this canvas. I worked on a different one, and I finished the one I was working on, and that one is Crystal Fox, and that was for the Jeremiah Kettner event. So you'll see that one soon too. It turned out really cute. I was pleased with that one. So now I've got to decide what I want to work on upstairs in our family room at night since I finished that one. And this one will be done soon, and it's really too big to take up there. So I've got several that I have kitted up last year on my channel, and I need to get those done since they've been kitted up for a while. So I need to see what I want to work on next. But I'm not sure yet. I'll just look and see, and whatever I see that I really want to work on, that's what I'll do. I may even have to kit something else up. I have to be in the mood to work on a diamond painting. It doesn't matter if it's seasonal or not. I do prefer seasonal, but if it's something that I look at and all of a sudden I really want to work on, then I'll go ahead and do that. I'm kind of all over on this section because I only have a few colors left on the section, and I'd like to just get these colors done. I may have to, I'm not used to single placing, so this is going to be quite interesting. That's going to take me a little bit longer, but it's just the way that this is. I may need to get another film arm that I use just for my WiP Chat. It might be easier than using the one that I have for everything else that I have as a floor one. I think that might work out a little better because it can sit on my table. But I don't know yet. I'm just trying to make things better for the channel. And I think that the microphone I finally found that I actually like, that I've been using, I think it does sound better. So the next thing is going to be working on lighting, and then also working on overall setup, which would include the WiP Chats. So let me know what you guys think. You think it looks okay on your end? Is there something that you would like me to do? I'm constantly improving or trying to, and I can definitely see a difference from when I started diamond painting for the channel and then now. There's a huge difference. It's almost embarrassing for me to go back a year ago and look at some of my actual videos. Like, what was I possibly thinking? But a lot of you have stuck with me from the very beginning, so I definitely appreciate it. All right, so after I got my hair done today, and then I went and picked up lunch, I decided, I was just looking on Joann Fabrics, and I just wanted to see what kind of sales they were having this week. And I've been looking for some frames for some future projects that I'm planning on doing. And the frames that I really wanted, they were half off this week. So I went ahead and I ordered a couple of frames to see if those are going to work on what I want to use them for. And then I picked those up at Joann's. And our Joann's has moved. And that was really nice because it's in an easier location to get in and out of. It's closer than the other one was. And the other one I didn't go to very often, but it was back in this strip, this shopping strip. And the parking was really weird. It was hard to even find Joann's because it didn't have a very good sign. And I would forget every time and spend at least 10 minutes trying to find where Joann's was in order for me to be able to go into the place. So this one is so much easier. It is really close. It's right off of a main street. It's easy to see. And it was very easy to get in and out of the store and out of the parking lot. So that was very nice. And I picked those up. I haven't had a chance to see if that is the right size. I kind of guessed. And just looking at the painting and trying to figure out, what I wanted. So if it's not, I can always take it back. But half off was really good. So I was pleased with that. So I got that errand ran, which was a good thing. And then I have to go to the post office tomorrow, which I absolutely hate. Our post office here is so slow. And I feel bad for them because they have like 4 little windows where, they have their customer service. And they only have like one person working for just your, general post office things. They have another one that does passports. And so you have to wait there forever. And I just hate going because I don't want to have to wait. But I've got to go tomorrow, but I mail a couple of things off. And that will be my wonderful time tomorrow after work. But this past week, my daughter, she's been sick off and on. Every time she goes back to school, she gets sick. She was not sick at all the whole month of December. She was on break most of December. She goes back to school, and 2 to 3 days later, she comes home telling me that someone at school is coughing and that they're sick. So I knew that she was going to be, and 2 days later, she was. Her allergies started popping up. She started having problems with her asthma. And it's been one thing after another. So I contacted the doctor and we took her to the doctor. And I mentioned I took her to the doctor last week. And that was when we had our really bad storm. And we were out in it. They wouldn't give her anything. And they said that it was viral. And if she wasn't feeling better in a few days, to give them a call and they'd go ahead and call in steroids for her. And as I mentioned last week on my WiP Chat, that I would be calling the doctor's office. Yes, I did. I had to call the doctor's office back and had to get her a prescription. And now she is feeling much better. She was able to go back to school today. And they went ahead and gave her some daily medication to start taking with her allergy meds, some over-the-counter allergy meds that she takes. They finally gave her some medication that I've been asking for over a year. And they went ahead and did that. So I think that's going to help her as well. But the main thing that's going to help her is when she is done with this program that she's in at the school, then she will be better. It's just, there's something at that school that is just really bad for her. So I hope when she comes in today that she's not sick all over again, because it took me from last Thursday until yesterday to finally get her to where she's feeling better. But everybody else is well. My oldest daughter, who has moved to South Dakota, I figured that she would get really sick because of the weather there and she's not used to it. She's actually doing really well. She's liking her job better. She's met some friends. And so I think that she's starting to settle in a little better. And it seems like her boyfriend is too. So I think they're going to be coming and visiting sometime in the summer. And then she has a wedding that she's going to be in. Her best friend's getting married. and that's going to be in Virginia. So she's really busy, but she's doing well, and she hasn't really been sick, which I'm so thankful for. And then my husband has just been really busy at work. He has actually been slammed at work. He had to go in early today, and he has to be there by 7 anyway. So today he got there, I think at 6:15. And so he had to leave a little bit earlier to do that. And it really worries me because he has to go through downtown Atlanta, and that's always kind of scary. You never know if they're going to have some kind of protesting, or they have what they call water boys that is out in the streets, and they try to sell water to you, and sometimes they can be a little aggressive. And so he has to be just really careful with his surroundings, looking what he's doing when he's going through downtown. And so I really worry until he gets home. But he's doing very well. He hasn't gotten sick, and I'm surprised that I haven't, thank goodness. Usually this time of year I will get bronchitis, but the last 2 years I've been doing really well. I think because I'm mostly home unless I'm at work. When I'm at work, I am mostly in my office unless I have to go into the classroom. So I haven't been around a lot of people. So that's kind of what's going on with him. And then with me, work has just been a little crazy. It always is the first part of the semester, and then it kind of dies down some. But this semester, it's been going a lot smoother than normal, and I'm definitely thankful for that. I have a few questions that students are sending me, but nothing really major or out of the ordinary. So when I come home, I'm not really stressed. But my job isn't really that stressful anyway. When I worked in industry, it was. I need to change colors. When I worked in industry, it was, and going into teaching, it's just so much better. I love it. If you hear some noise in the background, I do apologize. My heat, when it comes on in our basement, it's rather loud, and it is really cold. I've tried different things to try to get it to where it's not so noisy for you, but with the exception of just turning it off or turning it down really low so it will ensure that it won't come on until I'm done. That's really the only thing that I have really noticed that's actually worked. And that doesn't work because my dogs are down here. My oldest dog is very tiny. She's very cold-natured, like her mama. And she does not like it when it gets cold. She likes to be bundled up. So I have to have it on for her. And then also my youngest dog, Molly, she loves cold weather, but I'm afraid that they're both going to get cold. They have their crates down here. They have their own little room in the basement, and they just prefer to be down here, even than being upstairs. So when we put them to bed at night, that we put them to bed down here, and then we get them up in the mornings, or they get us up, I should say. Molly does. Zoe would sleep all the time if we'd let her, but Molly is the youngest, and she likes to get up. She is a morning dog, so I have to keep everything, nice and warm for them. And then even when I come down here, I have a floor heater that I turn on, and I have that on only when I'm down here. We don't leave it on any other time. But their room is nice and cozy, and they have blankets, and they have sweaters, and if they didn't like it, they'd go upstairs. They can go upstairs. They're not locked in or anything. They just liked their room. And the only way that Molly will sleep is in her room, in her crate. We don't even close the door on her crate, but she has a little rope, and she can actually close the door and open the door when she wants to. And she just feels safer with her crate door closed. So she is a strange little dog. Last week, it was very strange. Last Wednesday, I have card group where we get together on Zoom and we make cards, greeting cards. And so last week when we were done, the dogs were outside and I went to get them. Wasn't a really cold night and they stay outside a little bit longer than what they normally do. And I went to get them and Zoe comes right to me to the gate, and then Molly just starts barking, but she won't come to me. And I thought that was really strange. She's never done that before. And I kept calling her, and the more I called her, the more that she started barking. So I ended up having to go over into the gate, and she had gotten into the other part of our yard, which we have another gate that goes out from where they go, and it's a side yard that we don't even really use, but it also has a gate, and the gate goes out from where she is into that area. So kind of hard to explain, but anyway, so I had to open that gate, which I've never even opened the gate since we've been here, almost 2 years. So I opened the gate, let her go through there, and I couldn't figure out how in the world she had gotten through that gate, because the gate was closed and it was dark out, so I couldn't tell. So the next morning when I got up and I took them out, I went and looked on that side, and she dug a hole that was huge. She dug a hole that she was able to crawl under the gate, and she got to the other end, but then she couldn't figure out how to get back to the other side. So I called my husband and told him I found out, what she did, and she hasn't been a digger before, and I've only had 2 dogs that were diggers ever, and I've had dogs forever, and she was one of them. And the other dog that was a digger was my collie. So I don't know if it's like a collie thing or what, but I had to be careful because Zoe, the little dog, wouldn't even have to even do anything to get underneath that gate. She would just be able to actually walk under the hole and not even have to, duck or anything, because she's so little. And she is what we call our Houdini, because she can get out of some of the tiniest situations, and sometimes we can never figure out how she did it. It takes forever to figure out, how in the world did she get through there? And she did that a lot at one of our houses, and so we had to be really careful, because if she gets out, we're afraid that she's not going to know how to get back home. And that really scares me. So then I had to get something to cover up the hole so they could still go outside. And I ended up, only thing I could find that I could get to was one of my husband's old wheelbarrows. So I put that out there over the gate, which it looked terrible, but nobody could really see it but us. And so whenever he got home, he had to fix the gate and fix the hole, so she couldn't do that again. But it was funny because whenever I took her out the next day, she veered around as far away as she could from that hole, because I guess it scared her, and she could have gotten out if she would have gone to the other end of the gate. It doesn't have an end to that gate. It's not closed. So she could have easily have gotten out, and she had no desire to get out, which I'm really thankful for. But that was like our exciting time on Wednesday. And she was so tired, she went straight to bed when she came in, and she did not wake up until the next day. So all of that just absolutely wore the poor girl out. Let's see, what color do I need? I'm really changing colors a lot on this one because I don't have that many colors left. I need a 7. So I don't know if she's going to start digging holes, or if that was just a one-time thing. She was bored or she saw something. A lot of times on that side of the house, we see some rabbits, or one time we saw a wild turkey that happened to fly over and was on the side over there. And then we do have an owl that tends to stay in this one tree. So something caught her eye, and she was just wanting to get to it. to be able to go and see it. I guess the only way for her to do that was to dig a hole. But our collie that I had for years and years that loved to dig, she would go out and just dig holes to be digging holes, and then she would plop in the hole and she would have dirt all over. And she was a very fast digger. And you could tell when she came in because she had dirt all over her. And we had holes all in our yard. And I hated going out to our yard because in the backyard because you had to be really careful or you would possibly sprain your ankle by just falling in a hole that wasn't there, you know, hours before. And she loved to be outside too. So now I've got to watch Molly and make sure that she's not going to start digging holes and just demolishing our yard. And I know my husband will not be happy if she starts tearing up our yard. That is not going to go over very well with him. Even though he absolutely adores Molly, that is not going to go over well if she starts digging in his yard. He loves to do yard work, but not that kind of yard work. So that was our fun time with the dog. And she knows I'm talking about her. She's got her ears perked and she's just staring at me. But it is her nap time. I like to have them outside whenever I am recording, but it is just nasty out and I didn't want to leave them out very long. I was afraid that I would get in the middle of my WiP Chat and then she would start barking, which she's done before, and I had to go get her. But I was afraid it may start raining again and I wouldn't notice it and then they would get soaked. I don't want to do that either. Let's see, I'm trying to see what other colors I need. What else did we do this week? Okay, I'm trying to stay in this one section here because I know that way you can see it. I am loving these cat-proof trays. I have different sizes. This one's really large, and I use this one when I know that I'm going to be multi-placing a lot, and that's what I've been doing with this kit. And so I had this tray out. I could have used my smaller cat-proof tray, but this worked. Now I'm going to work on this little section there. I'm going to have quite a bit left over. That was my dog sneezing. I'm going to have quite a bit left over on my drills on these. I'm going to have plenty of drills left over so I can put those in my storage container, so that will be really nice. And a lot of these colors I know I don't have. So definitely another plus. This weekend, I'm going to have to go shopping with my youngest daughter for a prom dress, and she is so excited. She is special needs, and she goes to a special prom, and it's called Night to Shine, and it is sponsored by the Tim Tebow Foundation. He does this every year. The past 3 years, it has been drive-through, and last year it was so boring. And my daughter told me that last year, if we have another drive-through Night to Shine, that she just wasn't interested and that she would prefer not to go. So this year, when I heard that I was going to be in person, she got really excited, said she wanted to go. And that's coming up early part of February. And I need to go and get her a dress. Usually it doesn't take that long to find her a dress. I usually will go to Macy's or Dillard's, and they have all their prom dresses out by now. And she normally likes to have a shorter dress. She doesn't like the long formal dresses. She's afraid that she's going to fall having a long dress. And I told her, you just remember to raise your dress up, but she's really nervous. But then this year she told me when we were talking about dresses that she may go for a longer dress. So we'll see what we can find. And I've been really lucky the past few years on finding her a dress. So hopefully I'll be able to find one with no problem that will fit her perfectly. I won't have to have it altered because I'm running out of time. I was going to go in December, and we kind of looked a little bit. They didn't have very many dresses out. What they did have out pretty much were dresses for like Christmas and, you know, holiday parties and things. And we sure didn't want that. So we just thought we'd go early January, and then she wasn't feeling well, and the weather's been really bad. So now is the time. I've got to go and look for her a dress this weekend. So wish me luck. Usually she's not as bad as her sister on shopping. My oldest, taking her shopping was always awful because she would go to 7 different places, and we'd end up going back to the very first place that we went to and trying on again dresses there, and finally deciding on the dress that she wanted. And then we'd get home and she would start to question herself, is that the one I really wanted? So I'm glad that my youngest isn't like that, because that used to drive me insane. She was so bad about that when she was like 10 years old and older, and I refuse. Even now when I go to need to buy, you know, her something, I refuse to buy clothes unless she's with me, or I'll just send her some money and tell her to go and buy her some clothes, because it's just so hard to shop for. She's, you know, she's very particular, and I guess most people are on clothes. I am too. But with my youngest, if I see something, if I'm out, I see something that I think she'll like, I get it, and I'm pretty confident that she will. But then with my oldest, if I find something, she's not going to like it. More than likely, she will not like whatever I buy for her. So I don't do that anymore. But that's what we're going to be doing this weekend. And then normally with Night to Shine, they still will this year, they will have stylists for, you know, hair and makeup. They'll have makeup artists there that will volunteer their time and, you know, all of their supplies and everything, and they will do the makeup and the hair for the girls. And we did this all the other years except when they had the drive-through. We didn't. But I asked her this year, you know, do you want me to sign you up for that? And she said no, because last time that we did it, they did okay. They'd gotten behind. They were short a couple of people, and her makeup and hair looked okay. But then we came back home, and her sister was looking at it, and she didn't like it. So she started to redo it, and then that became a process. So this year, Paige said that she will just have me do her makeup and her hair, and she'll be happy. And it's on a Friday night. It starts at 6, so it's kind of hard to have her hair done by our stylist, because she doesn't get out of school until 2:45, 3 o'clock-ish. And by the time that she gets home from the bus and everything, then it's about 4:30, and that just doesn't give us much time to run and get her hair done. But I may just pick her up from school that day, and then if I do it like that, then I can take her up and get them to do her hair. Do like an updo or something that will be fairly easy to do. Nothing major or wild or crazy. And she doesn't like to wear a lot of makeup, so just enough. And I can do that. I'm pretty good at that. So that's what we are looking forward to. And what I really like about Night to Shine is that they have what they call buddies. And buddies are adults, so they watch the special needs kids that are from 14 up to adulthood. And they will watch them, they will play with them, interact with them, dance with them. They have a DJ, and the parents have their own room that they can go into, and they serve us dinner. We have really good desserts. They have a couple of DJs for us. They have another room that has a comedian. They have massages for parents. And they also have different other activities that you can do. They'll do your nails for you, or you can just, you know, sit and talk to people. And there's a lot of people that we know, And so my husband and I look forward to it because I know that she's well taken care of. I've known her buddy the past times that she's been. I'm not sure if her buddy is still going to do it this year, but if the same one does it, I've already requested, that's who I want. And she knows her. They went to school together. They actually were together on her instrument when she was taking violin, and so it's just really nice. And then the sponsors that's going to be doing this will be our church, and we know a lot of people there, and they know us. We know the special needs director, so I feel very comfortable with this process, and they're so good with the kids and young adults. And it's just really nice. And that way my husband and I can do our thing. We can have a nice dinner. And this is all complimentary. We don't have to pay anything. Although, we do, or I do donate some things for the church. I'll donate some cookies for the kids and, different things like that. They have cookies, they have juice. Chick-fil-A is the one that sponsors, and they give them full meals for the kids. So it's just super nice, and everyone just has a great time. And it's 2 hours, long enough, plenty long enough for all of us. Within 2 hours, she's getting tired, and I'm sure all the buddies are getting tired. They're probably worn out chasing these kids. And they have different photo booths and karaoke, and she'll talk about it for a long time. They give them free little gift bags from the community. So the community really comes together for this, and it makes the whole night so special because a lot of times, there's not things for special needs kids to do. They can't go to your prom at school because it's just too much for them. It's just overstimulating. They're not, watched, and they can't do it. So this has been so nice that Tim Tebow started this foundation, and that he does this all over the world. So we get to see other countries where they're bringing in their night to shine. We get to see it on the overhead projectors, and it's a lot of fun. So that's what we are planning on doing, which is super nice. So it's something for us to look forward to, and it's something that she can do that's not, with us. We're there, but we don't even have to stay there. If we wanted to, we could leave and then come back, but we always stay there. I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving in case something, were to happen. We wouldn't go far, but we like to stay there too because it's a lot of fun. And the food for us, they have a couple places that will cater, and these are really nice upscale restaurants, and we just get to go and sit down, enjoy ourselves. So we are looking forward to that. We can dress up or we don't have to. It's totally up to us. Most of the time we don't. That's really all that I have updates for family updates. And for my personal life update, I've done quite a few videos this week, and one was on a sneak peek, and that one has gotten a lot of comments and just a lot of shows, which I'm really excited about that. And also I did another video where I unboxed from the one with the diamond art, and I'd gotten some questions on that one, and that was the Josephine Wall diamond painting. And so the more I look at it, the more that I can understand why they did it the way that they did. I'm not sure why they have the opaque cover on. That's more of a mystery canvas type of cover. And I'm thinking it may be because they do have some mystery paintings, and they may have used the same supplier for the mystery paintings that they used for this Josephine Wall. I've sent an email out to them asking them a couple of questions. That was one of them, and I have not gotten a response back. So hopefully I will soon, and I can give an update. but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Even though it's in black and white, I don't think that's going to be a problem because the rendering is very easy to see. Some of the symbols are a little different. It's going to take me a while to get used to the symbols, and it took me a while for Diamond Painting Deutschland on the symbols. So I'm just going to have to get used to the symbols. When I go to kit up, I'm going to have to be very careful and very selective how I kit up, so I will remember where the 200 and I think it's 212 colors are. And so I've been working on that a little bit. So I am going to do that one for the Josephine Wall DP event. And we do have a Facebook group that's going to be opening soon. I will put that information under the community tab just as soon as we get that ready and up and going, so you can join that if you would like. But until then, if you have any questions on the Josephine Wall event, please let me know and I will be glad to answer those for you. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. We have some great people that's going to be sending us some prizes. They're all small shops that we're going to be using, and so we are really excited to share that with you guys. So that's going to be April and May. So I'm trying to get some of my other kits that I've started on, but I'm about halfway through. I'm trying to see how much of those I can get done until April the 1st, so that way I'm not working on anything else but that kit. And if I'm not done with the other ones, I will just put those up until I'm able to get to them. What else? I have a couple of other videos I'm working on. I finally have gotten everything that I need to begin working on my converted cross stitch again. And so you will be seeing that one. I really miss it. I'm excited to get started back on it. So you'll see that in the next week or two. Hopefully, I don't think it's going to be this week, but it's probably going to be the following week, because I already have what I plan on doing this week that I really need to get out. And I have some unboxings I want to do, so I have quite a bit. I could actually do videos every day. I still have enough content, but I really don't want to do videos every day, and I also don't want to wear you guys out and get to where you do not want to watch videos because I'm putting too many videos out. So I think 4 times a week is going to be what I'm looking at. I think I am going to stop here. I'm at a really good stopping point. I also have to go soon and pick up my daughter from school. She asked if she could be a car rider today instead of a bus rider, and I don't blame her. It's her first day back. She's missed 2 days of school last week, and we're only 10 minutes from her school, but if she's on the bus, it takes her an hour to get home, and she is not in the mood to sit there on the bus for an hour. So, and I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to do that either. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me today, keeping me company, and listening to all my little stories and what I've been going through during the week and work, all that good stuff. And thanks so much for being a part of the community. I really do appreciate you. If you have not subscribed, I think that you would like it here, especially if you've made it to the end of this video. So please click on that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And if you don't mind, click on the like button. That helps to get my videos out there. I don't really understand all about the YouTube algorithm, but I know that's a big part of it. So if you wouldn't mind clicking on that like button, let me know how you guys are doing and what you're working on. I would love to know. If you have not joined the Facebook group for the Crafty Diamond, I have a link for that below as well. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.